Some of the public infrastructure, really critical, you know, to make sure that your water, your sewage, power, phones are kept intact. That is a priority for firefighters. After our public messaging and information about your safety, our next priority is critical infrastructure for the community. Alright, so if you see the fire truck, you think, well, why are they there? Why aren't they out in the paddock? They may be very well keeping your mobile phone intact for you, so you can pick up something in the morning so you can contact your family. Alright, so don't run to assumptions when you think, why are they there? Because they're doing a job they're tasked to do. There's currently over 1,000 firefighters working your fire.
Shut up! Speak over, mate.
Sweet. Alright. Now I said I'd talk about the process for people to get back into affected areas. This is going to be a partnership again of all the emergency management agencies and partners. You will register with council through the Relief and Recovery Centre if you're in an affected area. Alright? Now that process will be put in place once the fire is contained. Register. We'll then do it. Council contact the Fire Control Centre, which is now in Seymour. They will identify whether the area is safe enough to access, and in doing so, you'll get an escort into your property. You go past the police traffic management point or the Vic Roads traffic management point, go in, you're escorted in. If it's safe, you come back out to the traffic management point, and police have a process of identification through wristbands. Okay, you can't buy on 7-Eleven, don't try. You'll get a wristband that's tailored for your area to allow you past those traffic management points and come and go as you see fit. Alright? That will be done to ensure your safety. Now, some of that will be slow because we'll be able to access some areas earlier than others. And again, that'll be driven by fire behaviour and the ability to get containment in certain areas of the fire. That's about the situation. Again, big thank you for your responsiveness to messaging. Can't undersell how, with a fire like this, nearly 20,000 hectares in a very populated part of the outer fringe, that someone hasn't been really severely hurt or killed to this point in time. And that's because people are heeding warnings, you are remaining vigilant. So please don't stop that. If you go away with nothing, keep reading the messages. I know some of you are a bit disappointed because we cluster the messages for the broader community. If you go on the website at the moment, I don't know how many active warnings there are across the state. To try and find your bit, we did every street, every little locality name, bit by bit. You'd be there for a day trying to find your area. We will cluster those warnings. It'll be easier when the fire activity wears off, but in the meantime, that's the way it will be done. So again, no apologies for that. Don't want to create alarm for areas that might be a bit further away from the fire ground than others. But that's the way we do our messaging. All right? Are there any key questions in relation to any of those points I just raised?
Where do you register?
Yep, so Relief and Recovery, I'll let Council talk about its processes. There will not be a registration process for that until we give Council the go-ahead, the process will start. Right?
How will we know when you do that?
It'll be on all our media releases and included in the messaging. All right, so it will be clear. It will also be notified through the Relief and Recovery Centres. All right? And I know, as I said, it'll be hard. Something I did mention, DEPI, Primary Industries people, they will be sending people in for both livestock and wildlife, probably ahead of some people's access to areas. So there will be assessment where there's a need for management of injured animals and a lot of fencing's down, animals are pretty mobile at the moment in some of the areas.
What house is on this road?
Yep. That's a really good question, and we're not going to speculate because we haven't had our teams in there to actually assess which properties, all right? And until we can confirm that and put our teams in there, so the teams that do the impact assessment for burnt houses, they don't have fire trucks with them. They are just in a basic four-wheel drive, and while there's active fire behaviour, we are not going to send those people in and risk their safety. So that will be a bit of time.
Some people don't get the CFA messages.
Yep. Like I said, plenty of people around here with iPads and iPhones making you a friend tonight. Righto. Please, I haven't got the current messaging in front of me because that wasn't the intent of my visit tonight. I can access that for you before I go. check, again, current messaging. There are 4 active emergency alerts. There is an evacuation alert. And
You said to look at the growth like that, I can watch it all day, and 6 hours behind outside here. Apparently out there, they've been getting it here, and the outside.
well, we can only chase that up again with that. It is current. We haven't made any changes to that, so the information is there. Thanks, folks.
About the wristband going through property, how do you get those out of the council?
Again. So, listen up, because this is important. There's probably people in this room that are really affected by the fires, and there's probably people in this room who'd love to go and have a look. Thank you! I'm going to stop talking unless you do. The people that are affected, council will tick off that you've got a pecuniary interest in those areas. They will make sure you've got a property. So no lookers, no social visits. People that need to get there will be ticked off by council. That will be ground truth then through to the CFA Control Centre, and then it'll be a partnership between fire agencies and police getting past the traffic management board. All right?